Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're here for another episode of Your Morning Drive. How exciting. I am Logan. Thank you for being here. We're recording today's show from 216 Co-working. If you're not sure what that is, let me tell you about them. They're located in downtown Cartersville, and they offer private offices, team suites, meeting rooms, everything in between for remote professionals, workers, growing teams, etc. With 24/7 access, high-speed internet, furnished office spaces, and a polished business-ready environment, it's a strong option for anybody working across Bartow County and beyond. Whether you need a dedicated office or flexible workspace near 75, 216 Co-working has you covered. To learn more, visit their website, book a tour, and join us at 216 Co-working. We're also brought to us today by Cartersville Living, powered by Best Version Media. Their magazine is your go-to source for uplifting local content, expert insights, community events, and more. They're bringing people together every month with compelling stories and informative articles from around town. Each new edition of the magazine brings us closer to our vision of uniting the community, one person, one home, and one business at a time. Before we dive in, make sure please hit subscribe wherever you're at right now. If you're new here, welcome. Glad you're here. Wherever you're listening, if we sent you a YouTube link, a Spotify link, Apple, Amazon, wherever you're at, hit follow so that when new conversations come out every week, you're in tune with what's going on. We're putting out absolute bangers this year, guys, and I would just hate for you to miss out on all of the fun that we're having at Your Morning Drive. And of course, for episode announcements, clips, guest information, sponsor information, all of those things, follow on social media. Anywhere that you follow Riley Green or Ryan Gosling or Sydney Sweeney, follow me as well. Everything is just at Your Morning Drive. My guest today, guys, wow, what a guest guy, is a passionate leader whose career has been shaped by a deep love for art, history, and community. Originally born in Marietta, she pursued her education in Athens, go Dogs, before returning home to graduate from Sprayberry High School and later earn a Bachelor of Arts in Art from Kennesaw State University. She has spent her career working for organizations that reflect her passion, including Prestige Cable and Georgia Museums, Inc., before dedicating 16 years to the renowned Booth Western Art Museum. Today, she serves as the leader for the Savoy Automobile Museum, a role she considers her greatest personal, professional accomplishment. Please welcome my new friend, Macra Adair.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. We're doing it.
Okay.
You know what's sad? I should have done this, but I knew you were nervous enough.
Right.
But Caitlin got in my head very early on, and she said, you know, it'd be really cool is if you asked Macra if you could come to the museum and do this at the museum, like with both of you sitting in one of the cars. And I was like, that would have been really cool, but I think she's really nervous, so I want her to be as comfy and relaxed as possible. And so I got in my head and I didn't even ask you.
We could have done that.
Dang, maybe next time.
Okay.
We'll come
That's a
back and we'll
deal.
do maybe we'll do like a little vlog thing, and we'll come in and we'll do some content with Savoy. That'd be fun.
We could get a cool convertible.
We could.
Yes.
That'd be really cool.
Sit out front.
Dang, no, I'm mad that we didn't do it. You want to go?
Yeah,
No,
let's do it.
I'm kidding. But we should do it in the future. That'd be really fun.
Absolutely.
That'd
That
be
would
really
be
fun.
fun.
I love the Savoy. I live down the street from Savoy.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, right across from the AMC movie theater in a little townhome
okay.
community.
Sure.
So I'm a hop, skip, and a jump down the street.
Nice.
I just
don't
told
live
everyone
that
where I
close.
live, but
I don't live that close, but not too far.
sweet. Very
Yeah.
good. So we're here. I'm glad you're here. What's it like? Well, I know because I was on the cover of the magazine there a couple months ago. What's this like? I know you said when you got in here that's a little not your typical ordeal. So what's this whole process been like for you?
A learning curve, a little bit of anxiety, but it's okay. It's been fun. The group from Cartersville Living, you, Anna, and Caitlin, they've all made it very easy for me. I'm just not into the forefront. I rather sit in the back and just run the office and run the museum and kind of stay in that lane. I have some great employees, a great team that are more of the forefront and don't mind being in front of the microphone or the camera. So it's like pulling teeth to get me to do this, but it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've made it easy so far this
Well,
morning.
Hey, I try my best to make sure people are comfortable because I feel that quite often I'm uncomfortable. And so when I walk into a space that I'm comfortable in, I'm like, okay, I want to do something for for everybody, something that I can make anybody comfortable doing. Because that's how I want to be treated. You know, I was raised on treat everyone how you'd want to be treated.
Sure.
So I try to do the same thing for everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're comfortable. That's nice.
Oh, I am. I'm good.
That's great.
I'm good.
And so many things I want to ask you, dude. I mean, first of
do it.
all, you're from Marietta.
I am.
So give me kind of the little Macra origin story. You know, you don't have to go too deep into it, but like parents, siblings, relationship with family. Were you cool in high school? What was the whole Macra origin?
So born in Kennestone Hospital. I guess I was probably 2. My father was finishing at UGA, so we moved to Athens so he could finish up. My mother went to work for CNS Bank, and Dad was attending classes, and so I'm an only child, so I was his go-to. He would haul me with all of his friends to all the games. I went to preschool, kindergarten, 1st grade in Athens, so I am a dog fan through and through. When he finished up, we moved back to Marietta, and I started my school career there. Went all the way through high school with the same group of friends, great group of friends, and then,
Were you cool?
I don't know if I was cool.
Were you invited to the parties?
Yes, but
Okay.
I'll tell you what, ask our mayor. He can tell you.
Was he invited to the parties?
Well, he was a lot younger than I am, but I'm sure he was.
I'm
He
sure
was
he
cool.
was.
Yeah, he was cool.
Still is cool.
Still cool.
Yeah.
Still one of my very dear friends. I'm so proud of what he's done and what he does for the community and here in Cartersville. But yeah, so it was a lot of fun. I mean, I can't. It wasn't as small as Cartersville. My mother's side of the family is from Cartersville, and my dad's is from Marietta and Adairsville, and no relation with the name. So I had a great family life, very very close family, very family oriented. They mean everything to me. So I spent most of my summers vacations up here with my grandparents. I was very fortunate. I knew 6 of my great grandparents, and I knew them well.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah. I hate to tell my part of my age, but I was 50 when I lost my last 2 grandparents. So So I was
so blessed.
yeah, very blessed.
Wow.
Yeah. So I spent a lot of time here in Cartersville, enjoyed it, loved it, and I've seen it explode. But it's still got that hometown feel. That's what I like about it. Everybody still goes to the Friday night games, whether you've got a kid in school or not. They still go.
I've never been.
What?
I've only okay.
Come on.
Don't crucify me. I've only been, which isn't an excuse. I've only been in town here for like 3 years, so plenty of time to go to a game.
Yeah.
But I haven't like dug in really until like the past like year and a half or so. So now I'm definitely gonna go.
It's fun.
I'd love to go. It'd be fun.
I mean, you'll get to know some of the children, their parents. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's still got that hometown Friday Night Lights feel.
I love that.
And the baseball following, all the sports and the school itself. We've got a great school system here. Terrific school system here. I've got 2 little cousins. One's graduating next week, I guess, and the other one is a sophomore, and we love it. Love it,
Yeah. It is really interesting, and me and Mayor Matt talked about this also, about how Cartersville has somehow preserved the small town feel. Whereas I feel like and these, no offense to these cities, because I love these cities too,
Right.
Kennesaw and
Right.
Woodstock
Yeah.
and Canton, they've also exploded just like Cartersville has within the last 5-10 years, maybe even longer. And they feel bigger than Cartersville does.
Correct.
And they are bigger, but Cartersville still feels like my parents grew up. I was born in the Midwest, and they both are from towns where their high school class was like 30 people. So like going back to visit grandma and grandpa as a kid, like for the holidays, like we were in, like everybody in town knew each other. Everyone had nicknames because the town was so small. They'd be like, oh, that's all. Like my grandpa had nicknames for everyone. Like one dude's name was like Gumdrop, and it's because he was always chewing gum. And like his name was Scooter because he was always he was a mechanic or something.
Sure.
Like everybody had nicknames. So I love that small town feel. And like there was no Wi-Fi. Like back when we were like, everyone was just outside, and like every neighbor kid, even though we were from out of town and visiting grandma, like everybody just knew each other.
Yes.
And it's like, they didn't know me, but they knew my dad because
Right.
he's the son of Don and Paulette.
Right.
So it was like, everybody knew each other. So like when I moved to Cartersville, I was like, whoa, like this is weird.
Marietta is not like that.
No.
I mean, it was great when I was growing up. We probably had 7 high schools, and then there's probably 14
Yeah.
that we played against, and it's just not like that anymore. It's grown what I like.
Yeah.
And Cartersville's growing, but it still holds on to that. The downtown area is great. Everybody comes together for the concerts or supports the local restaurants and shops, and you can go downtown at any time and see plenty of people that you know, and it's a great feel. So, anyway, back to growing up. I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's been
Yeah.
great. And I
Yeah.
love being an only kid.
Do you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's got its perks.
It does have its perks.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Especially when you're a kid and it's Christmas and your birthday. It's
Yeah.
you're the only one that's getting
right.
showered with the gifts from
I was the only grandkid for 19 years on one side.
Whoa.
Yeah, I wasn't happy when the other ones came.
Dang.
Yeah.
So
I am now.
no doubt tight-knit family.
Yes.
I mean,
very.
especially because you were, at least on one side, the only
Yes.
grandkid for a long time.
Yes.
Whoa. That's
Yeah.
wild. So when you
Yeah.
said you had little cousins graduating, you weren't kidding. Like the other ones came
Well,
along
in fact,
eventually.
the one that came 19 years later, it's her children that we support here at the Cartersville High School. Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's still got that small town feel, but I'd love to like rewind the clock 20 years and see what it was like 20 years ago.
Awesome. It was great.
Man.
Great.
And we are lucky. We do have a great downtown area
Yes.
with the businesses that are down there. Like
And
everyone.
the leadership's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody loves the expansion, but they also are working to keep that
Preserve.
small town feel. And I'm sure it'll stick around that way for a long
I
time.
hope so.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Even someone that's a newbie only being here for a couple years, like I was like, oh, this town can't lose what it's got.
Yeah.
Don't want to lose it to capitalism or whatever it is. But I'm kidding. We love capitalism. So you go to high school, you go to KSU.
Yes. After high school, though, I had a couple of odd jobs there.
Okay.
I started at Kennesaw at that time, and then was hired at Prestige, went to work for Prestige, and some higher beings or some other people thought it was best that I go and experience college off. So moved to Maryland.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. Went to Westminster College, which is now McDaniel College. Worked for Prestige up there and the TV studio, Herschel Weisram. I don't know if you know him, but he was very instrumental in this community. And I like to work more than I like to go to school. So it was a lot more fun. So I hung on as long as I could and ended up coming home and took a couple other avenues. Married, but didn't work out. And then went back to work it wasn't Prestige. Well, Prestige was not, they had already sold, but went to work for another division in Atlanta. And that's when they started the booth and went to work for the booth. So I was there when the booth started, stayed there for 16 years. And then I was asked to head up Savoy. And I've been with them we started looking at Savoy on a napkin, the first drawings probably in late 16, 17.
Okay.
And decided to do it.
So Savoy is still fairly new.
Yeah, we haven't even been open 5 years. It's 5 years in December. Yeah.
You throwing a party?
Yes, we will. I would love for you to be there.
I would love to be there. That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Real quick, guys, I want to talk about the team that makes your morning drive possible. Hammerhead Creations is my marketing company right here in Cartersville, Georgia. And honestly, it's built for businesses exactly like yours. If you're a small business owner who knows you need to be showing up online, but just don't have the time, or you don't want to hire a full-time employee to handle it, that's where we come in. We're talking websites, social media management, email marketing, and yes, podcasts. Whatever it takes to keep your brand visible and moving forward. We've worked with businesses all across Georgia and beyond, and I'd love to see what we can do for you. So go to hammerheadcreations.com to learn more, or shoot me an email at logan@hammerheadcreations.com. Let's get to work so that you too can swim with the big sharks. That's really cool. Okay, so yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still learning the history of the museums and everything, and
Yeah.
I've been lucky to sit down and have like Steven Schumacher
Sure.
and Leslie McMillan,
Yeah.
the goat,
Yeah.
as I like to refer to her, because she's
Yeah.
just awesome.
She is.
And a few different people from, Museum City to learn, but I'm still learning like the history. And you're the first person I've ever talked to from Savoy,
Yeah.
although we do have mutual friends in Blake and
Oh,
Jordan,
yeah. Sure.
because their
Yeah.
ribbon cutting was the other day, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool that you guys were there too. I really liked, I really just like, because I worked full time for another company for
Mhm.
years before I quit my job to explore this and the marketing services and stuff that I do full time. So I loved seeing that they have their own businesses outside of work and their employers showed up to support them. Like that
Absolutely.
was something that I never got
No,
working full time, is
absolutely.
everyone was always like, well, you're not drinking the Kool-Aid. So like, feel like every full-time job I ever worked, like I don't want to say hated, but they really despised that. They thought like, oh, well, Logan's doing his job and he's doing it well, but he's probably also thinking about other things.
Right.
And I feel like, and there's a balance, if obviously if Jordan or Blake, it started to teeter a little bit and you're just
Sure.
like, hold on, we need a reality check real
Right.
quick. You work for us full time, you know, but it
They've
just,
been great.
yeah. And they're wonderful people.
They are.
So,
They are. I enjoy working with them. They make the team at Savoy that much better.
and Blake's energy is just
Insane,
hilarious,
but it's insane.
insane.
Yeah.
I told him I wanted him to get in here and he was like,
You
oh, I could
should.
never. And I was like, dude, your personality is
Yeah.
perfect
You
for this.
should. Absolutely. He would be a good one.
But Blake and Jordan aside, yeah, you guys have a good crew down there.
We have an excellent, excellent crew from every department. Everybody pitches in. It's not one person pulls the weight. You know, I can't thank them enough. When we do the car show, we saw over 4,000 people last year. And I don't know what to expect this year. We do the best we can with the small group that we have, but no matter what task they're asked to do, they're all in, and they do a great job. They make it that special. But the whole company in itself, all of Georgia museums, from the guys that take care of the properties. Look how beautiful the properties are. The
Gorgeous.
buildings, all the directors that are over the buildings, the facilities, they're all beautiful. Uh, the buildings are so clean. Missy and her crew, they're fantastic. And they go above and beyond because we have so many events between all the museums that we stretch them thin, but they're always there to help. Um, and when we've gotten into where we host quite a few progressive type dinners or events, which takes all four of the museums. Down at Bartow History, he and his crew do a great job helping us out. If we do coffee and desserts down there, or a dinner or drinks, whatever we do, they all are on board. And it makes it special. It makes Museum City what it is. And we all pitch in. And we all want to be the place where if someone hears about cars, I've heard about those museums. I wanna go there. I wanna go to Carsville. They've got great restaurants. They've got the museums. They got the downtown area. And that's not discrediting, we've got the Etowah Indian Mounds. We've got Lottie Moon House. We've got all the other Roselawn. We've got all the other
Yeah.
things. Noble Hill, everything. So we have so much to offer. And the museums are great. I enjoy working for them and always have. I have a little inside though, with them, so they mean a little bit more probably to me than some, but, um, yeah, I wanna make them I wanna make not just Savoy, but all of them successful. I was fortunate enough to be on the ground, when Booth opened. I remember when a couple years later, Telus kind of took over the Wyman and, Telus sees 200 something thousand people a year.
That's wild.
And the kids, the children, it's fantastic what they do.
Yeah. I mean,
So
kids come from all
oh,
over. My
absolutely.
wife teaches in Kennesaw
Yeah.
and at Kennesaw Elementary, and they she comes every year to
Yeah.
tell us.
So we're kicking off we're trying to build an education program at Savoy. I've met several times with Rick Poe and some others at Carsville High School and the Career Academy, and we've got some calls into Chattahoochee Tech
Mm,
because, you know, college isn't for everybody, and we need the technical schools and the skills to work, and we want to do what we can to help enhance those kids that or
yeah.
children that, the path isn't always a 4-year, a 4 things like that. So we're trying to build Brooklyn Fletcher, who is the manager at Savoy for docents and volunteers, and she's starting up the education program. She's doing a great job. We just started it, and I think we've got 1,800 kids on the books. So, you know, I'll take that,
Heck
and we
yeah.
can only go up from there.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, I think it's really powerful that the museums, while they are all their own,
we are.
and they all have their different purposes, of course, automobiles and Western art and science and history, like they're all different, but they're all so similar at the same time. And the fact that, like, I love that point about y'all show up for each other
Yep.
presents that Museum City is like a family unit versus just four different businesses in the same city. So I think it's really cool that whoever's idea it was way back whenever to brand it as Museum City
You
because
can thank Steven for that.
yeah, I mean, the fact that you guys were just like, let's make this a unit. And maybe it was a unit
It was a
already,
unit before.
but the fact that that branding and that the what y'all did with that is just it's super cool. And I think people, well, I think more people, and maybe that is what we're doing here today, and with the magazine and with the podcasts and magazines I've done with Stephen and Leslie and all the other folks, is that there don't just visit one, visit them
No.
all. If you love Savoy, you're gonna love Tellus. And if
Yes.
you love Tellus, you're gonna love the booth. And
Right.
if you love the booth, you're gonna love the
Right.
History Museum.
Working at the booth was terrific. I always like to say I traded in one kind of a horse for another kind under the hood this time. So, yeah, I mean, the artists that I met, the exposure to that world, even though I was an art major, just it's fascinating to the creativity of individuals. And I can take that to well, at TELUS with that, an Adams team, the astronauts that we've met, and then all the car people that we've met that have shows and custom design for automobiles and things. It's fabulous. And then, the companies that we use that are local that help us restore some of the cars that we have and make them better. The people are just it's what it's about is the people that
Yeah.
we've met and what they bring to the table.
Yeah, it's really impressive in there, and I love that you guys and like, like the booth too, and you guys cycle things out,
Yeah,
and you bring every time I've been to Savoy, there's something different in there, which is very refreshing because you could see how people could say, "Okay, I've been to the Savoy, done, never going
right.
back," because I've seen what's there. But I think it just comes down to educating the public of like,
So that's where we wanted to be different.
yeah,
We were kind of probably, if you ask us now, we were overzealous doing that. It's very taxing on everyone to change an exhibit every month. So, but if you look at most automobile museums, if you've been to any, they may have one temporary exhibit and it may last 6 months to a year. It may last more than that. And the cars are parked so close to each other that you can't walk around the vehicles. You can't really get the whole view or the uniqueness or the design and how they were created. So when we went into this, we were like, we need to do something. We need to be different. We need to uh, stand out against everybody else. So we don't have an overabundance of cars in the museum. We, usually on the floor at any time is 40 to 50. You can walk around every car. You can see in every car. We try to roll the windows down if we're allowed to. We borrow so many cars, and that's to keep it fresh. So at any given time on any month, there's something new that's there. But it is hard. I mean, we've got to come in late Sunday. I say me. The guys come in late Sunday, move everything out. The ladies that work in housekeeping come and clean very well. And Monday morning, we bring in the new exhibits. But it's a constant. And they're coming from all over the United States. We're trying to find the best of the best or the most unique or what will appeal to everybody. We've got great exhibits coming up the rest of the year. We got NASCAR, which will appeal to a lot of people.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah. But we have 2 cars from every generation, each one.
ooh,
So that'll be great, and then we've got NHRA coming, we've got Jeeps,
great.
yeah, so, I mean, we try to appeal to everybody. We love like I think you alluded to earlier when we were talking that people may say, "Oh, have you talked to this person or this idea or whatever?" We love when people call us with, Have you thought about doing this? Have you thought about doing that?" Well, no, but that's great. We'll put it on our list and why not? If that appeals to you, why not?
Yeah, that's really neat. The NASCAR thing is really interesting. My dad is a NASCAR
You'll have to bring him.
freak. The first time I went, I brought him too, or my wife and me and him came, and he was blown away. And I think he has a membership.
Nice.
After that day, he was like, "Oh, I want to come back."
Yeah.
Yeah, when the NASCAR things, I'll be paying attention to social media and when you guys advertise it is happening because
Yeah,
I definitely
do. And
want to bring him.
we've had we were missing one of the cars from one of the generations, and I don't know if you know Sarah Tunsmeyer.
Know the name.
Well, her dad's, Lewis has the photography shop here in town,
Oh,
and
okay, yeah.
yeah. So she has her own company, and she's into the NASCAR car world, let's just put it that way. So we were missing a an Earnhardt car, actually. And so Tom Chenal, who is our director of curatorial, reached out to her, and she goes, "Let me call RCR." So they're sending us an Earnhardt car. And then we go to a lot of shows, a lot of concourse shows and things, and we met a lady that has worked for Roger Penske for 34 years. So we made the connection. They're sending us a car. So it's interesting. Everybody wants to help. Everybody wants to see everybody succeed, especially in the car world. Now that that's what I'm in, but they've been so gracious and um, yeah, I mean, we got to know Wayne Carini very well. He is like part of our family now. Ken Gross is part of our family, and they have helped us break through the door or have people that trust us now that have seen the facility and they've talked us up and they're okay with lending us their car that they normally may not would have. So, yeah, it's been good.
What was it like with that transition from the booth to the Savoy with, like, the fact so that you're dealing with art and paintings and portraits and stuff like that? Is it any different, or is it similar enough because these old cars, whether they're old or new, it still is art. You can look at it as
No,
art.
they are art. So, no, it wasn't a big change. I think the change was going from my position at the booth was director of operations and or guest services and facilities. So, to go to Savoy and head up a team, that was the biggest challenge, I guess. But I brought people that I had worked with and knew from some of the other museums. And so that made the transition a whole lot easier. And then of course we were able to put together a great team. No, from caring from artwork or knowing how to deal with artwork, moving it or hanging it or anything, the cars are no different. I mean, they're really no different. They are artwork.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say so. I mean, some of them you walk in and you're like, "Oh my god,"
Yeah,
just as I would at looking at a
a
huge
painting.
portrait or a painting or
Right,
whatever.
right.
Um, Stuff that you look at and you're like, "I can't believe people drove this thing at some
Yeah,
point." Like, that's the wild
yeah,
thing is seeing all the
yeah.
different eras and the cars that sit real high or real low, and you're like, "God, how was that
Low
safe?" And
riders.
it's like, it wasn't, but that was what
Yeah,
they did.
yeah.
So and maybe I'm biased. I'm a huge history nerd. I love thinking about what came before and where we are
Nice.
now. So the first time I went in there, I spent like 3 hours in there. I just couldn't get enough because I'm like, I can't believe that we're where we are
Did
now.
you feel there wasn't enough that there should have been more vehicles on the floor?
I don't think so because I don't think I'd ever been, unless when I was a kid, like, to an automobile museum before, so I also had no reference, but I thought that y'all had a pretty good amount and a good variety.
Okay.
When I went in the center area in that long, center hallway or whatever you guys call it,
The Great Hall.
the gray hall, there were, like, monster trucks in
Uh,
there, and so I was like,
yes.
"Oh my god, I've never stood next to one of these," and I wasn't even, like, half the height of the tire, and I was like,
Yeah.
"God."
So they came in on little tires, like normal tires.
And then when they get in there, then you put them up on?
Mhm, yeah.
I always wonder how
Yeah,
many
'cause we couldn't
back
get 'em in
doors you
other
guys have.
we have 2, and
'Cause
one of 'em's in one of the galleries, but the wall's made to look like a permanent wall, but
yeah.
that's where we bring most of 'em in. Then we have one that, we'll bring cars in to the backstage of the theater.
And then so how do you guys, when it comes to, like, taking them out, reshuffling, moving around, how much of a tedious process is that?
We have a machine called a Stringo.
Stringo.
Yeah, you can ride on the back of it, and it hooks under the front or back wheels, and it will you can maneuver the car that way, and it saves us so much time because there's a lot of cars that we're not allowed to get into, we're not allowed to drive, we're not allowed to crank. All they want us to do is park it and leave it. We've got 2 Corvettes right there now from the GM Heritage Center, in Michigan that they flew down on their dime, hauled the cars down on their dime, placed them, and we could I mean, I really don't even want people to look at them. I mean, we can't do anything to them.
Yeah,
And
don't breathe in the wrong
don't
direction.
breathe, don't do anything. And they got there right before we hosted Boots and Saddles, which is the event that kicks off the Booth Gala. And we were afraid that we had to strategically place them so that we didn't have to move them for that party. But the guys that came down from GM Heritage were so nice. They were like, "Look, we'll come back and move them for you." And they didn't want anything. They just don't want us to touch them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, my next question was gonna be real dumb now that I know that
No,
answer of,
it's not
like,
dumb.
I was like, "Surely you guys don't get in one by one and drive them out and then drive the new ones in." Maybe some of
Well,
them.
we do one by one, but it's on that machine. Now, we love it when someone says, "Can you exercise my car every 2 weeks?" Yeah. So I was able to drive a, Lamborghini Aventador.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was sweet. It was
Enough to be like, "Maybe I need one of these."
Yeah, no, that's dangerous.
So have you found, though, that since you've been doing this, that you have become kind of snob is a dumb word to use, but like a car snob? Like, are you, like, picky about your cars, or are you still
No,
fine driving just like a Chevy
no.
Malibu or
Look,
whatever?
I drive a 2001 Silverado truck that's got almost 300,000 miles on it. I have
Whoa.
a Jeep Wrangler TJ with 115, but I did just get a new car, but other than that, no, I'm not a car snob. No.
Whoa.
No, and I'd rather drive the truck or the Jeep any day.
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
I love them all. Some are harder to drive than others, but no, I think the variety is great. I think it's great to see where we started and where we are.
yeah,
I think there's no individuality about cars today that there was back then. They're one of 4 colors now. They all kind of model the same. If one car in one year starts the box looking, then they all follow, or they go back to the round, and they're not made straight. I hate saying this. They're not made as well as they were back in the day. I mean, look at the chrome that was on the cars in the 40s and 50s and 60s. Those cars weighed a ton. I
mhm.
would put those cars up against any car today, even though they didn't have the airbags. I don't care. Those cars are hardy. So it's interesting.
And I think a lot of people share that opinion.
I hope. I mean, that's why we try to bring such a variety.
Yeah,
You know, we've only had a couple of shows with supercars in them.
yeah,
Um, even though they're great cars and they're beautiful,
yeah,
but you know,
but they just don't
they're
have
not where
that.
it started.
They just don't they're cool to look at, but they don't have that, like, I don't know, when there's something about looking at, like, a '50s convertible that's
I
just
know
like,
with
"Good
fins,
God, look at that thing."
with fins.
Yeah, but then you look at, like, a Lamborghini Aventador, which is a
Yes.
badass car,
Yeah.
but you still are just like, "Okay."
Yeah.
But when you look at an old car like that, like, my dad got himself a toy recently, it's like I'm gonna get it wrong, and he's gonna come for me, it's like a '68 Camaro or something,
Nice.
baby blue, it's beautiful,
Right.
and when I get in that and riding that with him, I'm like, "This thing is unbelievable," but it's a different kind of
Right.
unbelievable, like, my brother drives a 2025 Corvette Stingray, And when I get in that one, I have the same reaction, but it's like a different but similar reaction. You know what I'm saying? It's like a different kind of, it's like a respect that I have for the classic car. All right, guys, I got to tell you about something that I'm a huge fan of, and I've been fan of for many, many years. Those who have engaged with this show and listened for a while, you know that I'm a fan of Good Days canned cocktails. They aren't your average drink. They're not your average seltzer, ready to drink canned cocktail, whatever you might think it is. It is not that. Good Days are inspired by classic cocktails. It's in the name. We're talking about sea breezes, whiskey sours, vodka ritas, gin gimlets, the whole nine, made with real juice, premium vodka, and American whiskey. Stuff that you'd actually order at a bar, and it tastes like it too, just in a can. They've also just dropped their new splash line, vodka sodas in a cranberry, a lime, and a grapefruit, which is clean, simple, and very crushable. Whether you're tailgating, you're on the water, you're watching a game, or you're just winding down after a long week, Good Days has you covered. You can check them out by going to their website, drinkgooddays.com. Of course, you have to be 21 years of age to purchase and consume Good Days, but go to their website, find a location where they're sold near you, and hit them up, purchase their product, and enjoy it like I have for years. They've supported Your Morning Drive almost since the beginning. And so we just love to support and give back to them. Again, that's drinkgooddays.com. Good days are ahead. Whereas the new car, I'm just like, oh, that's badass because it's modern and techy and cool. But the old kind, I'm like, oh, that's just classy. Like, I feel like we're having a gala. Someone pulls up in one of those and it's like, it turns heads. Someone pulls up in a Lamborghini, it turns heads, but people are like, oh, it's a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You can see them in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, you can see them in Atlanta, right. Cool. I was never a big car dude growing up, but as I've gotten older, I've just appreciated, again, like we were talking about with like old music. It's like now I have this appreciation for older things because I know that like when you listen to a song by Metallica, you're like, that music isn't made today.
No.
It's all electronic, and you know some of it sounds good, but then like you
But
listen
it's not like original.
no, and it doesn't sound like five dudes got into a studio together and just figured it out like all of these classic artists did. So it's just a different respect.
Yeah. If you drove one of the old cars, like the 50 that you were talking about, or one with fans, a convertible, it wouldn't even, you couldn't even park it in a parking spot.
No.
I mean, you couldn't get in your side lot, much less turn it around.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
So anyway, they're fun.
It's fun. I want to ask you, and you know, we can talk as much or as little about it as you want, but I have to ask you about Jon.
Okay.
Just because, you know, again, newbie here.
Sure.
And so when I moved here, and funny, when I went and before I did the podcast with Leslie, she gave me a tour of the booth and she took me around, showed me everything. So knowledgeable, that woman. And she kept on mentioning either him or the boss or
Anonymous.
Mr. Anonymous
Yeah.
or whatever. And the whole time I'm like, who the hell's this Mr.
Yeah.
Anonymous?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, people don't say his name, but he's the guy who, you know, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And I didn't know who he was or his name until, unfortunately, we lost him. And so I was like, whoa, so that's Mr. Anonymous.
Yeah.
And so please correct me because, again, newbie here, so I don't want it to come off disrespectful. So he started the whole museum thing?
Yes. Well, he started Prestige Cable
Okay.
first. He's from Chatsworth.
Okay.
Or was from
And I know,
Chatsworth.
sorry to cut you off. I know that we're here to talk about you, but I have to
that's fine.
honor the family
I
history.
wouldn't be here. Yeah. So he was grew up in Chatsworth. He went to tech. He worked for Channel 5. I'm condensing a lot. And he saw where that part of the, I don't know, for lack of better words, the world was going, which way it was going in technology and all that. So he got his first cable system and figured it out, started it just on him selling himself really to people, and was able to open systems in in Georgia, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, and Puerto Rico. And he did that for several years. And when he decided it was time to get out, he sold. But being the type person that he is, the philanthropist and just a good humanitarian. He gave back to every community where he had a system. So it may be a boys and girls club, it could be anything. And he had a passion for artwork. He's always had a passion for cars, I believe, too. So he decided to build the booth.
So the
And
booth was the first.
yeah,
Okay.
and he hired a great guy, a designer, Frank Bergman, who's no longer with us either, who came up with a vision of what it should look like. He traveled and came up with a design, and they worked very closely together and were able to put that together, and next was Tellus, and then we came along. So Frank, sadly enough, didn't get to see the opening of Savoy, but what he and John came up together for design, that's just design-wise. I can't, it was second to none. But John's vision, he wants to give back. He wants children to be exposed, wanted them to be able to be exposed to different things in their life, give back to the community where he grew up. His wife grew up here, their daughter, and all of his friends were here, and they all supported him. He had Channel 4, which I mentioned Herschel before. He and Lee Berger, you know, headed that up, and they were able to bring music, create Museum City basically here. John was. And with what he gave back to the community, he loved being anonymous. He would get the biggest kick out of, like at Savoy, somebody would ask, he would just be sitting on a bench in the hallway and somebody would ask him a question and he would get tickled, and they may even ask him, "Do you know who the guy?" "No, I have no idea who he is." I mean, but he was always present at all of them. Tell us at Trey's at the Bartow History Center and at the booth. He was always very visible, but people didn't know who he was, and he didn't want it that way. He wanted to sit back and watch. His favorite thing was to walk in one of the museums and let's say somebody was new at one of the front desks and they would ask him to pay. And he would, okay. He would get tickled, and then when they would find out who he was, it would just crawl all over him. They would be so embarrassed because nobody knew who he was,
Yeah.
except us old timers. But I will tell you this, to his credit, when he sold Prestige, you know, people were not gonna have a job, Some stayed with Adelphia bought the cable company, and not many, but he wanted them, he wasn't gonna leave them high and dry.
Mm,
So he gave everybody a job at the museum,
that's killer. That's
and
awesome.
none of us knew anything about running museums, artwork, cars, science,
Yeah.
whatever it should be, but it didn't matter. We'll all learn it, and we'll learn it together, and we'll make it what it is. But he was not going to leave anybody high and dry. When they asked me to head up Savoy, one of the things he told me is, he says, "Look, when with your team, go and sit in their office and talk to them. Don't make them come to you. You go to them and sit and talk to them. See what they think. See what they wanna say. See what their ideas are. Don't wait for them to come to you or don't call them to your office. Go sit with them. Let them know that you're all together." And I think that was so valuable to me. And he always did that. You would always see him at the corporate office. He'd be sitting in somebody's office talking to them, you know?
That's a really admirable leadership quality. That's the difference between a manager and a leader right there,
Right.
is that the manager calls you to their office and the leader goes and sits in yours.
Yep.
And that's something that on a day-to-day basis, maybe people didn't think about, but if you zoom out and look at the greater picture of like, well, John never called me to his office. It was always he came to us. It was always him leading that rather than, oh, well, they'll come to me because I'm the boss.
No.
That's a really admirable. And I do like the anonymity of the fact that he was like, "I don't want the spotlight." The spotlight's the
No.
museums and what they're
Right.
doing,
Right.
not the guy who funded or started or
Right.
whatever.
He was very methodical. He would think about he would think about things for a very long time.
Everything was calculated.
Yeah, he would ask you, and 9 times out of 10, he was gonna say no, but then he would go back, and it could be weeks, months later, and, "Yeah, okay." But he would think about it. I mean, we would ask him questions when we were trying to design Savoy and come up with a concept and things like that, and we wanted to do this or that, and, "No, we're not doing that," and he'd leave or whatever. We'd have a kind of a heated conversation, and could be a month later, I thought about this. Let's look at it this way, and let's just change this much. And you're like, wow, because I shoot from the hip. I'm very spontaneous, whatever.
Me too.
He was not, which was great because of what he was able to do and things like that. But he not only did the museums, he helped so many people in this community and others, children, going to college. Just, it's endless what he did. And most people will never know. And
Mhm.
I'm sure there's things that I know that he did that it may be years that I'll find out that he did.
Mhm.
But I lost my office every day at 4:30. He would show up, sit in my office, go talk to the staff, um, and I miss that, I really do, and the dinners, and he was always at all of my programs, and we would always take the speakers out to dinner and things like that, and he did it, right within 2 weeks of the passing. I mean, he was always there. So, it's been hard on me trying to get used to a new norm,
Mhm.
but all we wanna do is preserve his legacy and keep it going. And, hopefully, all of us, it'll take all 4 of us at the museums to do it, but we all have the same goal, and we wanna see him succeed and, make him proud.
And he was your uncle, right?
Great uncle. He
Great
married
uncle.
my great aunt, yeah,
Okay.
which is here again is the family.
Yeah.
It's kind of odd that I was extremely close, to my great aunt, and she was extremely her sister was my grandmother, and so when my mother was born, she kind of took her and her friends everywhere, and then my great aunt, her daughter is only 9 months older, which if Lori listens to this, she's not gonna appreciate that. She's 9 months older than I am. So we always went places together, and we were always together. So, like I said, my family started young. That's how come I was able to know. I knew my great-great-grandfather. We have a picture here in Cartersville of the 5 generations, and, so I feel very fortunate. John was a part of my life since I was, 8 or 9. And, he was a great mentor. I learned a lot. We butted heads. It was funny, the older I got, when I didn't do well in school, when I went off to Maryland, I took it. I mean, I heard it quite often and had to deal with it. And then, probably in the last 4 years, he said, he was not the best student at Tech. And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? After all you put me through?" But yeah, he was a great guy. He was a great mentor, a great family member, great for the community, and they're far and few between.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. Love that. Funny when I met with Leslie for the first time, I was like, "Oh, I wonder if he'd do the podcast." She was like, "Don't even
No,
bother.
yeah,
Don't even bother."
no,
She was like, "You are barking up a tree that is
yeah,
that goes all the way to the heavens and beyond."
yep,
She's like, "He would never do it. Or he would do it, but you wouldn't be able to put his name on anything. It would just be Mr. Anonymous." But
correct.
even then, at that point, even that name, Mr. Anonymous, people will know who that
Sure,
is.
I mean, people in town, of course,
Sure,
knew, and
sure.
some of the other people, but
But he's not the
nobody.
kind of guy that wants a statue built of him.
No, he does not. That is correct. Yeah, he always joked about McCamish where Tech plays basketball.
Mhm,
He
mhm.
always it was I don't remember what it was before, sadly to say, but when it became McCamish, she was like, "Man, why do people do that? Why do people put their
Wow.
names on stuff?" He wouldn't do that.
Wow.
But then when people came up to him and said, "Oh, you're John
He wouldn't
Osher."
argue.
No, but and he would get tickled. Inside, he probably loved it,
Yeah.
but he just would never go that far.
Do you think that that is something that was taught to him, or did he just achieve a certain level of success that he said, well, there's two types of people when they reach this level of success. There's the people that let it go to their head, and then there's the people that give back and want to just be not a source, that's not the right word, but just like a beacon of maybe a beacon's not the right word either, but just, like there's people that let it go to their heads and there's people that don't.
Right. He's an only child.
Okay.
Mm. No, I think he came from humble beginnings, and I think working in the TV world, I think he saw a lot of individuals that had made it Oddly enough, Ted Turner, who
Yeah,
just
just
passed.
passed.
Okay, so even though I hate to just throw his name out as Ted, I guess I should call him Mr. Turner, but anyway, he was very giving, but he was very loud and he wanted his name on things.
Sure.
John was just the opposite. He would look at individuals like that and kinda just laugh, not that he thought it was wrong or anything, it just wasn't
Just polar
it just
opposites.
wasn't him,
Yeah.
It just wasn't him. You know, he loved reading the letters of children that he helped maybe through school and things like that, but did he want them to, go and bring him things or no, just do good in school and give back where you can and pay it forward. Do that.
Hmm. Yeah, it's all really, really, really admirable. Yeah, I didn't realize how close our mutual friend Mike was.
Yes.
What's so crazy is for a long time, so I did the podcast with Mike, and he was such a hoot. And afterwards, I was like, "Man, we should go get dinner or something. Like, this was so fun." He was like, "I'd love to, but I'm going to visit my sweet friend." But he never
Yeah.
said who it was.
Yeah.
He just said, "I have this elderly friend
Yeah.
that I like to go and hang out with and take care of." And I just assumed it was a family member.
No.
And then finally, or not finally, but once John had passed, someone in the network, it could have been Kelly Nagel or it could have been someone else, just said, "Mike's sweet friend was Jon
Yeah.
Osher." And I
Yeah.
fell apart because I was like, Mike sat there with John
Yeah.
like
It
that
might. Mhm. Yes.
for as long as he did.
So, probably for 4 years, when, Mike, came to Georgia Highlands, and we've gotten very close, our properties
Yeah,
join,
proximity
and
wise and
right, and he's a
relation.
great guy, he's doing phenomenal things. I mean, phenomenal things, and the sky's the limit. He's got the energy and everything. So, he and John became very close, became very good friends. Mike was invited to everything that were we held or had,
And
either
vice versa.
family-wise or company-wise.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was at the programs, and he would go to dinner with us and the speakers and things like that. So, Mike is family. I consider him family. He is family. He, helped us through a hard time, and he was there to, uh, bring John, great conversation, fellowship, joy, and that's immeasurable, because, John would go out he got to where he really didn't, go and do as much as he used to, but at dinner every night, always at dinner, you would see him somewhere in town at dinner, and Mike or whomever from one of the museums was always there, or just local people in town.
Guys, I want to tell you about something really cool happening right here in Cartersville. All In or All Out Ministry is hosting their first annual Mic Drop Masters comedy event on September the 11th out at Georgia Highlands College in Cartersville in their gym. The event is Laughs for a Purpose, and that purpose is real. They're raising money for an incredible cause, and they need your support to hit their goal. Whether you want to grab a ticket, make a donation, or just spread the word, every little bit helps. Head over to givebutter.com/AIAO Mike drop masters 2026 to check it out. The link is in the description of the episode so that you can go down, donate, get involved, and it's going to be a ton of fun. We've got 8 great people from around Cartersville going around fundraising, raising money. So if you want to support any of them or donate to the mission overall or sponsor, if you're an organization that wants to get your name out there more, we're going to have a great time at Georgia Highlands on the 11th of September. So come out and support. Link is in the description. And to support AIAO, go to their website, AIAO Ministry.
David and Ellen Archer were huge. Ray Thacker, Diane Tate, all those. I mean, he had a great group of friends that he always went to dinner with on any night, any given night,
Where would they go? What was some of his
So
favorite
Largo's
places?
was the one that he went to, but Maine Coastal, Table 20. Those were probably the 3 Longhorn. Tabitha the bartender. We love her. She's been a good friend for many years, but yeah, so those were probably the 4 places that we would hang out and on any given night. Every night, really, we were somewhere, so.
God, I'm jealous. People always are like, "What would you do if you found tremendous success?" Is like, I'd be out to eat every night. There's nothing I love more than going out to eat. I just love the experience of being out. Like, eating at home is so boring.
Really?
I hate eating at home.
Really?
Yeah,
Come
I
on.
hate eating at home.
Logan, come
Oh, it's the
on.
worst quality because on any given night, like I in our household, I'm the one who manages like the finances and
Right.
like takes care of all that stuff. And my wife's always like, "How are we doing this month?" And I'm like, "Ah, good. Yeah,
Yeah,
we should cut
right.
back on eating out." But then, like, my toxic trait is the next night she'll call me on her way home from school and she'll be like, "I'm so tired
I
tonight."
don't wanna
And
cook.
I'll be like, "Well," and she's like, "You just told me last night we need to cut back." And I'll be like, "Well, I'm all for convenience."
Yeah, right?
Um, and we have so many great options in this town that
Yes, we do, we
it's
do.
unfair how many. I mean, whether
That
you want
is
something as casual as Jefferson's or as nice as
yes,
Largo's,
right,
we've got everything in between.
yeah.
Um,
He liked going to getting a drink at Southern Cove
oh,
before they would go over to Maine Coastal
yeah.
or and then Kilwins,
Oh,
you know? I mean,
talk
so
about torture.
yeah. So, I mean,
They don't need to be
we
here.
have great places here. We
We
have
do.
great places here.
We're very lucky.
Yeah.
A mix between some chains with mellow mushroom is always fantastic,
Right,
and, like, the outside of downtown with the Longhorns and all the chain restaurants we've got, but then the local businesses too. We're
right.
very lucky.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, man, so much family history, so much passion for I love John's energy around again, it goes all into this funny little joke I made before we started about like loving what you love and it's okay if you don't embrace all of the new things. So I love this mindset that John had of like, I see where the world's going. We're getting far more digital. We're getting far more separated. So let's do a thing where we can preserve and teach where we can embrace this new stuff all we want, but we should at least teach people where we came from.
So, having you said that, I hate to interrupt,
No,
but
please.
at TELUS, he did an exhibit before he passed, and it is where we were to where we've come from, or where we are, I'm sorry, where we are. Um, and it is, the bag phone or the radio or the TV that had the antennas. It is an amazing exhibit, and it's in the new building, TELUS West, the one that was just
I haven't been
finished.
yet.
You need to go. On the other side is a space exhibit, I believe, right now. But the technology side, he did that. He did that with the team at TELUS, and it's fabulous. It really is. The old big microphones. It from where we were to, and he was a part of that, and to where we are now. And a lot of kids don't even know what a rotary phone is.
No.
I mean, they look at it and go, "How do you call them that?"
Do you know, I'm sure you do, Ashley Davis, Red Door Food Pantry? Well,
No.
either way, me and my wife were out with her and her husband a while ago, and we were talking about old technology. And I was like, by the way, how did you even dial like 911 or whatever on one of those damn things? Because my parents have one in their basement. They've got like a bar set up in their
Right?
basement, and they have on hanging on the phone one of those old phones. I was like, how did you even dial 911? And they were like, if you were in a panic, like you still had to
Oh, yeah.
and I was like, "Golly, it's crazy that y'all did that." But then with like my grandparents had a really small ranch home and they had a cord in their kitchen that stretched all the way around the damn house.
Oh,
It
yeah,
felt
and
like it
it
was so
bunched
long.
up.
Yeah. And I was like, "How long is this freaking cord?" My
Yes.
grandma could answer it in the kitchen and walk
Yeah,
all the way to the bathroom in the
yeah.
back of that.
Party lines.
Yeah. I was like, "How is this possible?"
Yeah.
So I love that stuff and it is kind of sad that society has gotten to the point, again, I've said before we started that I'm lucky to have been born at a time when I was a kid, we didn't have technology and cell phones. So, like, it
Right.
was only until I think it was about middle school that, like, cell phones, like, really started to, like, pop off and kids were starting to get them. But even then, my parents were like, "You're not getting a cell phone until you're in high school." But I begged them, and I got one when I was in, I think, 8th grade, so right
Right.
before high school. But, like, a lot of times now, kids, they just don't know what came before
No.
unless they're schools, because a lot of parents don't take kids to museums, it feels like. I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm just assuming here from
Right.
the outside, but, like, my wife, they take their kids every year to tell us, and I'm like, "Well, at least
Yeah.
some schools are trying to."
Well, she'll see the new exhibit. I mean, there's typewriters. There's just the old phones, that you took the plug and put it in the
Yeah.
whatever. But he did that because he was fascinated that what all he had seen over his lifespan. I mean, he lived to 93, so he saw a lot, and the exhibit is wonderful. I mean, he did a great job. He didn't wanna take credit for it or
Of
nothing, but
course he
a
did.
lot of that stuff was his personal stuff or is his personal stuff, and it's a fascinating exhibit.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I love that. I'm gonna have to go check it out
He
because I
was the
love
master
stuff
of
like that.
texting, though, I can tell you that.
Really?
When he learned, buddy, that's it. Yeah, it was a text.
God,
Yeah,
that's fun.
yeah,
That's fun. So, like, what's so well, with you at the head of Savoy,
yeah.
with John now gone, and of course, after people pass, there's always a natural conversation of like, well, how do we continue what he started? How do we build on the success and the reputation that, that he had for his generosity? Like, how do we take his vision and push it forward? How do you see in the next, maybe this is a too big of a question, but how do you see the next 5, 10 years playing out for the music, like for Savoy, but also the museums in general? Is there room for another one of some kind of
No,
category? No,
no,
no more room.
there's no more room.
No more museums in Cartersville,
No,
at least by you guys, city.
correct, that we would do.
Right.
No.
It was
I
always
feel
gonna be
I feel very confident in saying no.
really?
Yes,
Well, you've
no.
already covered all the basics, I
Right.
guess.
No,
Sorry, did you
we
understand
need
what I was asking there?
yeah, we need so it's up to us. It's up to the, the board. It's up to, um, the family members. It's up to the community. It's up to all the people that Adam, Trey, and the new director at the booth and myself to make them. We've got to make them sustain. We need the help of the community. Um, we need the support. You know, we need their support just as much as in I guess in a sense of what we're trying to give back to them, but we need their help. Um, yeah. I mean, I don't want to say we're good, but we all have the vision that we're gonna
Right,
make it right.
right,
We're gonna continue.
right.
We're gonna continue the legacy, but it's gonna take all of us and all the teams of all the museums to get the support and people to help us continue to bring the exhibits, the art classes, or the astronauts, or the history to not only Bartow County, but surrounding counties and other states, that come visit or people that come and visit. So we're going to have to rely pretty heavily on having the support from the community to continue to give the community what we have been giving them. Um, but we're all very passionate to do that. We want it to succeed, and I have no doubt we will. We'll continue just like we are. I have no doubt. We have good community support, but we still need it. And the ways that, people can help us is, the donations or help support us in our fundraising efforts, the campaigns that we run, and that'll help us sustain and continue on into the future.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
You did that well.
Did I?
Yeah,
I hope so.
you did.
It's
It's the truth.
it is the truth,
Yeah,
He helped us and he helped us start, but now we've got to do it.
right.
It's up to us, and I think all 4 museums and Georgia Museums Inc. and, um, we'll do it. We'll do it.
Yeah, I think you will. I think
I
everyone
mean,
knows you will.
I know we will, but we want to give to the community just as much as we want the support from the community.
Sure, sure.
So,
I understand. Very good. McCrae, there comes a point in every conversation I have with the guests that we talk about, who you are, where you come from, what you're doing with the museums, what, the impact that they have, Savoy, John, all these things. But now I want to bring it back to the basics. We are all human, and I like to sit, and whether I'm sitting here with Tom Hanks or Macra Adair, I'm going to ask Tom and McCrae the same small group of questions. They're all very first date questions, but we're all human, and we all have our guilty pleasures, and we all love food and art and music. So I like to get to know people on a human level outside of the museum. Who is McCrae? So first off, favorite movie?
ooh, Young Frankenstein.
Whoa. I've never gotten that answer before. That's a good choice. That's a good choice. Whoa. It's always so fun when people give me different answers.
That
It's a good one.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
It's
I
a
mean, it
classic.
is.
It's a
It is a
classic.
classic.
Absolute classic. McCrae, let's pretend that Georgia Museum Inc. Wants to put on a summer music festival for Bartow and beyond. You have an unlimited budget. You have a time machine. You have all the resources. Who are our 3 headliners for this music festival?
The Eagles, Willie Nelson,
Great.
and wow. I'm a lean towards country, so I'd probably say somewhere like Johnny Cash, really.
That's an all. I was hoping you'd stick the landing with there because you rattled those first 2 off real quick. I was like, oh man, she's got to pick
Well,
a.
Johnny Cash was the first album. His Folsom Prison Blues was the first album I ever got,
Oh
oddly
man,
enough. I have it framed in my house.
I wonder. You know what year that came out?
No, I don't. I don't even want to venture,
Dang.
but I have it.
Wonder if my father-in-law had a career in country music. And
Really?
he was an engineer in the recording booths. He's worked with Johnny Cash
Nice.
and Willie Nelson.
Well, Willie
and
was one of my first concerts in the Omni
that's
with
fantastic.
Waylon and his
Yeah.
wife and Leon Russell and Johnny Paycheck and all that. So
Wow.
here again, only child, dad, and his best friend. I had to go everywhere.
Oh yeah, that
So-
sounds awesome. Great music festival. I'm coming. McCrae, you're going out to eat and you are looking at the appetizer menu. What are 3, in no particular order, what are 3 appetizers that you'll always go for, no matter where you're at?
Potato skins, the lettuce wraps with the rice or whatever's in it. And wow, I've never been asked this before. That's crazy. Probably a chip and dip.
Yeah.
Like a dip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
I mean, I don't know that.
Told you it's first date
I know,
questions.
right? This is interesting.
On a day where you don't work in any capacity.
Yeah.
All responsibilities and burdens in your life are taken care of by
Yeah.
God or someone else. How does McCrae take care of herself? How do you recharge?
Hard.
Hey guys, I want to talk to you about something every business owner needs, and honestly, a lot of people are sleeping on. If you've ever wanted custom hats, shirts, tumblers, laser engraved merch, corporate gifts, anything with your logo on it, you need to check out Branded and Devoted Designs. These folks are right here in North Georgia, and they specialize in making your brand look sharp. We're talking leather patch hats, custom apparel, branded merchandises for businesses, teams, events, you name it. And here's what I love about them. Send your logo and they handle the rest. Same day quote, turnaround during business hours, and bulk pricing is available as well. And if you tell them that Logan from Your Morning Drive sent you, you'll get 10% off your order. So whether you're outfitting your team or building out your company swag, these are your people. I've also used them for years and they do good work, and they're again a local business, so why not support them? Check them out at brandedanddevoted.designs.com. Tell them Logan sent you, get 10% off your order at brandedanddevoted.designs.com. Now, back to the show.
Flowers, cut the grass, spend time with my dogs.
That's the perfect day.
Yeah, that is the perfect day.
Perfect.
At my house.
Perfect.
Yeah.
At home.
I love being at home. I love to travel, but I love being at home.
God, I love being at home.
I do.
It's
I
the
really
best.
do.
It's
And
so
I
good.
love cutting the grass. I mean, it's so gratifying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It's therapy
instant.
for you.
It is therapy because I can get on the mower, put the headsets or the pods in, and I'm done. I love it. Like, I can't wait for the rain to go because that's what I'll be doing on Saturday probably.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What would be something that people would be surprised to know about you? Either maybe a hot take you have, or guilty pleasure, or something that people would be like, McCrae, really? Her? Had no idea.
Wow. I don't know. I don't know.
This is a pretty positive podcast mostly, but what's something that just gets you going? So you see it in public and you're like, God, why do people do that? Something that really just blood pressure rises when you see it.
People driving. My dad always says I'm gonna end up in trouble one day.
You'll lean your head out the window and be
Oh,
like, "Figure it out."
yeah, I'm bad about that. Yeah, yeah, and saying things that I shouldn't,
Oh, yeah,
but
God, it's
everybody that knows me knows that.
well,
I mean,
you and me
trust
both.
me.
You and me
Yeah,
both.
like, the person that's over me is probably cringing knowing I'm doing this. Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah.
I saw something yesterday and I was like, "Gosh, why is this?" I hate it when people FaceTime in public without
Oh,
headphones.
yeah, that's a good one too, but
Like,
driving's the one that kills me.
yeah, because then you get up around them and you look over at
Oh,
them and you're like, "What's going
I
on?"
know, and you
And half the
can't
time
do
they're
that.
just
I know, but you can't do that nowadays.
yeah,
You really can't do
because
that
people will
nowadays.
look right back at you
Or
or
worse,
point a gun at you.
I mean, you never know
You
now.
never know.
Yeah, so, yeah,
That's fun.
yeah.
That's a fun one. I like that. We've all got road rage, people. It's
I
just some of us is worse than the others.
correct.
And then lastly, McCrae, what keeps you going? What motivates you? What's your morning drive? What gets you out of bed in the morning?
Well, my job and the team I work with. I mean, we're family. And even, you know, the other museums, I mean, we're all family. That means the most. That gets me up, making the museums the best that they can be, promoting the museums. Um, but I work with such a great group of people. I mean, all of them. We're there for each other, and that's at all the museums. So that gets me up. And I have both my parents. I love my family. And I can't wait for the day that I retire because I can spend more time with them while they're here. My dogs. I love my dogs. Put a smile on my face every morning. They're aggravating, but they put a smile on my face every morning.
What kind of dogs you got?
So I have two rescues. One is 11. Got her at the shelter. And then the other one kind of fell into my lap, and she is 3, and she is Maltese and Shih Tzu, and she weighs 7 pounds and probably acts like she weighs 50.
Wow, that's fun.
Yeah.
Those are the best.
They are the best. I've had purebreds and all that kind of stuff, but these 2 that I have now, they rule the root. Everybody knows. I mean, if you don't like toys on the floor or whatever, then don't come to my house because they run it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's
It's their
covers
house.
all over everything and
Yeah.
all that kind of
It's
stuff.
their
So
house and you're just there.
exactly. That's
They pay the bills
I
there.
take them. Look, I go as far as to take them to my mother's every morning and pick them up every afternoon so they don't have to stay by themselves.
Oh, that's so cute. What are their names?
The oldest one is Jingles and the little one is May.
May.
She's
How
a
sweet.
pistol.
How
Oh
sweet.
my god.
Just a firecracker.
Yeah. She is one for the books, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
McCrae, go ahead and tell the people that are here today how to learn more about Savoy and how to get involved, where to go to learn more, and all of those things.
So, we on our webpage, we have YouTube channel, we Twitter, Instagram, all the Facebook, all the normal avenues to learn about us. If you're in Carsville, we are the big shiny red building there on the corner of 20 and 411. But we're always looking for volunteers, docents. Just come and have lunch with us. If nothing else, our cafe is wonderful. We have great staff there, and they make great food. And then we have the changing exhibits. Every month something's different. We hope to appeal to everyone. We have a great car show. Come join us. You can enter your car if you have a car that you're very proud of. Every 2 years, we do a locally owned exhibit. Submit it. We'll put you in the Great Hall.
What's the date on that or general time frame of that car show this
The
year?
car show is going to be on September 11th this
Okay.
year. So please join us. And I will tell you now that we are fixing to announce we are going to host, that's it, just host an auction with Richmond Auctions. Mike McCandless, his dad is Herb McCandless, who is Mr. Four Speed. He owns a auction house and they sell signs, and he's going to do cars, sell some cars, and we're going to host it there on the grounds. And I think that'll be a terrific something new to Cartersville and
Yeah.
there at Savoy. So that's in October, I believe the 16th and 17th of this year. And we're always looking for new ideas. If you've got them, shoot them to us. Exhibits, whatever. We're open to anything. But yeah, come see us. We love to entertain and host people and the parties that people have booked, TED Talks, weddings, receptions, parties, birthdays, memorials. We've had it all. We enjoy doing that. We enjoy the people coming and trainings. Yeah, it's a fun place to be. We love it. I love it. It's a passion, and my team's great. We all do.
Perfect. I will make sure that I put the information for Savoy down in the description of the episode. So if you're listening and you're intrigued and you want to learn more and you want to grab yourself a pass to come and check the place out, I highly encourage you to do so. It is a fantastic facility and they do have a great, even for a guy like me who for my whole life didn't really give a rat's, you know what, about cars. But the first time I went in there and I was like, whoa, maybe I am a car guy and I just didn't even know it. So
Yeah.
you should absolutely go check it out. So I'll put the link in the description for you to check it out.
Look, every car has a story, whether it's your first one, your grandpa's, whoever. Cars appeal to everybody. They really do.
Absolutely. And just like cars having a story, I'm so thankful for you to come in
Well,
and give your
thanks.
story to me,
Thank you.
McRae.
You made it easy. You really did.
I
Thanks.
do my very best, but yeah, it's just really cool to be able to
Thanks.
learn about you and the impact that Jon had on both you and the museums in Cartersville. So just thank you for being open and transparent and willing to share that story with me.
Thank you.
Awesome. Guys, again, Savoy's in the description. Check them out. Thank you to Cartersville Living for hooking this up and staying persistent with getting McRae and the Savoy team on the cover here for July. So we'll appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in and hanging out with us today. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.